Good morning. It is Friday, July something, and I hope you've had a good week. The weather's been up and down, but I hope that you are doing well. Today, we have another devotional here for you from Cheryl. Thank you once again, Cheryl. And our theme this morning is on patience. Cheryl writes that there was a song that that's Peter and Cheryl, not Cheryl and Dawn. There's a song that we used to sing to our girls about being patient. The first couple of lines went something like this, and you might know the song. Be patient, don't be in such a hurry. Be patient, it only causes worry. The girls' grandma sings that to them as well. Pretty much all of us know how impatient kids can be, especially when they're waiting for something big like Christmas or even little things like a friend coming over. You know how it is. I remember as a kid waiting for something in the mail. I remember one time I won a board game, Clue, in the mid 80s from a cereal box contest, and I waited and waited for that so long. I still have it, as a matter of fact. But I remember staring out, waiting for the mailman for weeks, it seemed like. So, yeah, I know about patience, Cheryl. But, she writes, we know that kids don't have the market cornered on this particular issue, do they? Adults can be just as impatient as kids. Whether it's driving in traffic, cooks waiting on their food to cook, or just waiting for someone, there's lots of opportunities for impatient. You get the idea. It affects us all. Seems like we're always waiting for something. And whether patient or impatient, we know, as the song says, that stressing about it and getting upset doesn't make anything go faster. It only, as the line goes, adds worry. In the Bible, there's lots of examples of individuals who were waiting on God. And one great story is about that of Joseph. His is a long tale and very involved, but it's amazing how the story of how God worked while the hero was waiting. Who knew, for example, that while Joseph was in prison for years, that God was working behind the scenes? Who could have imagined while he was languishing in that cell that his story would take such an incredible turn and God would use him in such mighty ways, despite that unjust, unfair circumstance that led him to being thrown behind those bars? God rewarded Joseph for his patience and used him mightily. To read that story, go to the first book of the Bible and read from chapter 37 onwards. There's a lot of other verses in the Bible as well that teach us about patience and can give us some important principles. For example, Romans 12:2 says, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. That encourages us that patience during difficult times strengthens our faith in God. Secondly, Psalm 139:16 says, your eyes saw my unformed body. All my days were written in your book before even one of them came to be. This tells us that God has our best in view, even when we might not see it now. He has seen it for all time. He can be trusted. Again, in the book of Romans 8:28 says, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. That reminds us that God absolutely can and frequently does work through difficult situations. God hears us. That's the good news. That's the amazing news. Psalm 40, verse 1, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. Thankfully, Cheryl concludes. God cares for each one of us, and even though it doesn't always seem like it, we need to be patient as He works in our lives. It's true, we sometimes go through really challenging seasons, and we always want relief now. Nobody wants to go through pain, nobody wants to suffer. And the encouraging thing to me is that we see in the Bible, whether it be the story of Joseph or Abraham, Paul, Peter, we know that there are many accounts of people who went through difficult times. And even those great heroes of the faith, they weren't delivered immediately on many occasions. Sometimes they went through terrible difficulties for years. There's even individuals who suffered and then were killed. They did not expect that, or they did not receive that deliverance that maybe they had hoped for. So we never know what kind of trial we're going to go through, and we never know how long it's going to last. But the question is, will we trust in our wonderful Lord who knows all things and who has His watch care over us? Will we trust Him, and will we be patient through even the difficult times? So again, whether it's been a great week for you or a challenging one, I lift you to God in prayer, and I ask that God would help you and strengthen you through these days, and that He would give us great patience at every step. So God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you to all of you. We'll see you Sunday or sooner. God bless.